Right, it's this constant tension between the old ways and the new ways. On the one hand, streaming makes films more accessible, you can watch them from anywhere, but on the other hand, it diminishes that theatrical experience, which has a magic all its own.
The movie Cynic really nails it when they talk about that shared experience. Sitting in a darkened theater, watching a film unfold on the big screen, there's just something special about it. And you lose that when you're watching at home.
You do. And there are consequences beyond that, too. The movie Cynic talks about the impact on theaters themselves. They rely so heavily on those concession sales. If people aren't going to theaters, those businesses suffer.
Right, it's like a chain reaction.
Yeah.
And everyone feels the ripple effects.
Exactly. And it highlights how interconnected everything is in the film industry. Studios, the theaters, the streaming services, they all play a part, finding that balance. A sustainable balance that benefits everyone, that's going to be crucial for the long-term health of cinema.
It's a complex puzzle, that's for sure. And then you add in the social and political pressures. The movie Cynic doesn't shy away from those either.
Nope. They dive right in. They talk about how Hollywood is constantly under microscope, expected to address social issues, promote diversity, avoid anything potentially offensive. It's a lot to juggle.
It is. And it's tricky because studios need to be mindful of the messages they're sending, the impact their films have on audiences, championing diverse voices. That's essential, both in front of and behind the camera.
Absolutely, but it has to be genuine, right? The movie Cynic warns against just checking boxes or engaging in what they call virtue signaling just to appease certain groups.
Right. It can't just be for show. Audiences can tell when a message is forced, when it's not authentic. Like the movie Cynic brought up that Imagine video from the pandemic as a prime example of virtue signaling gone wrong.
Ugh, yeah. That was rough, all those celebrities singing from their mansions.
It felt so tone deaf, so out of touch with what most people were experiencing.
It did, and it backfired big time. Which just goes to show, when studios and celebrities champion social causes in a genuine way, it can be powerful. But when it feels like a marketing tactic, it can do more harm than good.
So the question is, how can Hollywood get it right? How can they integrate important social themes without sacrificing the quality of the storytelling or alienating audiences?
It's a delicate balance. I think it starts with empathy. Really listening to the communities they're trying to represent, engaging in open dialogues, creating films that reflect the complexities of real-world experiences.
That makes sense. And the movie Cynic also expresses concern that this fear of causing offense or facing backlash could lead to a kind of self-censorship in Hollywood.
Oh, absolutely. They worry that studios will start shying away from tough topics, that we'll see a trend towards sanitized content, lacking the depth and complexity that make great cinema truly impactful.
It's a valid concern. I mean, studios should definitely be mindful of cultural sensitivities, but it's also important to protect creative freedom, to allow filmmakers to explore challenging themes. That's what makes cinema thought-provoking, makes us confront uncomfortable truths.
Exactly. Cinema should make us think, provoke us, challenge our perspectives. When studios avoid those difficult conversations, it can stifle creativity, lead to a less interesting, less impactful cinematic landscape.
So it's a paradox, isn't it? We want Hollywood to be more inclusive, more socially aware, but we don't want that to come at the expense of artistic integrity or freedom of expression.
Right. It's this tightrope walk, but it's a walk worth taking. The future of cinema depends on finding that balance.
It does.
Okay.
But let's shift gears a bit. The movie Cynic spends some time talking about the potential impact of technology. You know, virtual production, artificial intelligence, all that stuff.
Yeah, they seem cautiously optimistic about the possibilities, but also a bit anxious about the potential downsides.
Exactly. Like, on the one hand, they acknowledge how powerful these tools can be. Virtual production can create immersive worlds, can potentially reduce costs.
It's exciting stuff, but then they bring up this fear that AI could be used to churn out formulaic scripts or to manipulate performances.
Yeah, and that gets at the heart of it, right? Technology should be a tool, something that augments human creativity, not replaces it.
Totally. The heart of filmmaking is storytelling, and that requires human vision, human emotion.
Right. We don't want to end up in a world where algorithms are writing our movies and robots are playing the roles. That wouldn't be very inspiring, would it?
Not at all. It's that human element, that connection we feel with characters, that emotional resonance of a story. That's what makes cinema so captivating, and that's something AI can't replicate, at least not yet.
Right. So, big picture question here. What do you think the future holds for Hollywood? The movie Cynic seems to believe that a hybrid model could be the key. You know, embracing both those big budget spectacles and the smaller character-driven films. What are your thoughts?
I think that hybrid approach has a lot of potential. It allows studios to diversify, to cater to different tastes, to provide opportunities for both blockbuster entertainment and more thought-provoking cinema.
Right. Imagine a world where we have both, the big exciting spectacles alongside those intimate, character-driven stories.
It's a future I can get behind. And it sounds like the movie cynic believes that we, the viewers, have a role to play in shaping that future.
They do. They remind us that we're not just passive consumers. We have agency. By supporting the kinds of films we want to see, by engaging in thoughtful discussions, by demanding more from the entertainment industry, we can contribute to a more vibrant, diverse, and exciting cinematic landscape.
And it goes beyond just what we watch. It's about being part of the conversation. The movie cynic brings up a really interesting point, how streaming and other changes are blurring the lines between film and television. They point to those successful limited series, The Queen's Gambit, WandaVision, as examples of how serialized storytelling can actually work in a cinematic format.
It's true. Those series felt like extended movies. So do you think this blurring of lines is a good thing, a positive development?
I think it's fascinating. It opens up new possibilities for creators, allows them to explore different formats, different platforms. The distinction between film and television, it's becoming less rigid, and I think that can lead to some really interesting, innovative work.
It's like those traditional boundaries are dissolving, creating this more fluid, dynamic landscape for storytelling. And along with all these changes, the conversation about representation in Hollywood keeps evolving too. The movie cynic seems to be advocating for a move beyond tokenism, towards more authentic and nuanced portrayals of diverse characters and cultures.
Absolutely. Authentic representation, it requires a deep understanding of the communities and experiences being portrayed. It's not about checking boxes. It's about telling stories that are both entertaining and enlightening, stories that challenge stereotypes that expand our understanding of the world.
They make a great point about how representation goes beyond just casting. It's about who's behind the camera, too. The writers, the directors, the producers, they all shape the stories being told.
Exactly. It's about creating opportunities for diverse voices at every level of the industry. And they also bring up an interesting point about the changing role of film criticism in this new landscape.
Well, yeah. With the rise of online platforms, social media, everyone's a critic now.
Yeah.
Do you think that's diminished the role of traditional film critics?
I think it's more about a shift in the landscape than a diminishment. Traditional critics, they still offer valuable insights, analysis, but those online platforms, they've created a space for a wider range of voices, perspectives, which is great, but it also makes it harder to sift through all the noise.
It does. It's like we need a new set of tools, a new way of navigating this ever-expanding sea of opinion.
Exactly. We need to be more discerning, more critical. We need to be able to recognize bias, to evaluate different arguments, to form our own informed opinions.
So with all these changes happening in Hollywood, all these challenges and opportunities, what advice would you give to our listeners, those who are trying to make sense of it all, to navigate this a complex, ever-evolving world of entertainment?
Be curious. Explore different genres, seek out diverse voices, and don't be afraid to challenge your own assumptions. Engage with film criticism. Don't blindly accept the opinions of others. Develop your own taste, your own criteria for evaluating films.
I love that. Be curious, be critical, and most importantly, be an active participant. Wow, we've really gone deep, haven't we? This deep dive into Hollywood with the movie cynic has been quite a journey.
It has. From those blockbuster budgets to streaming's impact, representation, film criticism, it's clear the industry is at a turning point.
The crossroads, for sure. And the movie cynic, they seem to think the future of film hinges on finding balance.
Balance, yeah. Between artistic integrity and making money, appealing to huge audiences while giving space to unique voices, holding on to the magic of theaters while technology keeps changing how we watch.
Right. It's like they're saying cinema, it's powerful, it can entertain us, but also inspire, challenge, even provoke us.
Exactly. And they remind us that film's future isn't set in stone. We shape it through the choices we make as creators, consumers, and critics. It's a collaborative process.
It really is. So, knowing all this, what's your advice to our listeners trying to navigate this world of entertainment with all its twists and turns?
Be an active participant. Don't just passively watch. Really engage with the films. Think about their message, the perspective they offer, how they make you feel.
The movie cynic talks about being more discerning as a viewer, developing your own taste, your own way of judging a film. They suggest treating watching movies like a journey of discovery.
I like that. Always seeking new experiences, pushing your own boundaries.
Yeah. Don't be afraid to watch something that challenges you, makes you think differently. That's where real growth happens.
Absolutely. And they also emphasize supporting independent cinema. Those smaller filmmakers, they're often the ones taking the risks, pushing those boundaries, telling stories we wouldn't hear otherwise.
So true. Seek out those indie theaters, Go to film festivals. Tell your friends about the films you loved. Our support matters.
It does. It helps them thrive, helps make the film world more diverse.
The Movie Cynic leaves us with a question that really stuck with me. Is the era of the traditional Hollywood blockbuster truly over? What do you think?
Tough one. I think the blockbuster will adapt, but it might not look the same as it used to. Audiences, they want more than just visual spectacle now. They want depth, originality, something to connect with emotionally.
Right. It's not just about blowing stuff up anymore. And with streaming and global audiences growing, what even is a blockbuster is changing too.
Exactly. It's a really interesting time to be a film fan. Things are changing, the old rules are being rewritten, new possibilities are popping up all the time.
And, like the Movie Cynic says, we have the power to be a part of this. Every ticket we buy, every review we write, every conversation we have about movies, it all contributes to the kind of film world we want to see.
So be curious, be critical, support what you believe in, and most importantly, stay engaged. The future of film is being shaped right now.
Beautifully put. Thanks for joining us on this deep dive into Hollywood. We hope you found it thought-provoking, insightful, and maybe even inspired you a little. Keep exploring, keep questioning, and keep that love for cinema alive. Until next time.